Chapter 13. Water. Sources of water. Water is very important for the survival of living beings. All living things need water to survive. Water is an important natural resource. The earth has more water than land. 3/4 of the earth's surface is covered with water. Fresh water is obtained from rainwater, underground water, and surface water. Rainwater. The main source of fresh water on earth is rain. Rainwater fills big water bodies like ponds, lakes, rivers, seas, oceans, etc. It also seeps into the soil. It becomes impure when it falls through the polluted air on the earth's surface. Underground water. Rainwater seeps into the ground and reaches the layer of solid bedrock and collects as underground water. Underground water is drawn out by digging wells, tube wells and hand pumps. In some hilly areas, underground water comes to the surface in the form of springs. Surface water. Water present on the surface of the earth in the form of water bodies is called surface water. These water bodies are streams, ponds, lakes, rivers, seas and oceans. Rivers flow from the mountains, hills and other places where it rains a lot. Rivers that are filled with rainwater are called rain-fed rivers. Krishna, Kaveri, Godavari and Narmada are some examples in the southern part of India. These rivers have a lot of water in the rainy season but often dries up in summers when it is very hot. That is why they are called non-perennial rivers. A lot of snow or ice is present in the high mountains, like the Himalayas. When this glacier melts, it turns into water. This water flows down in the form of rivers. These rivers are called snow-fed rivers. Examples are the Brahmaputra, Ganga and Yamuna. These rivers carry plenty of water throughout the year. That is why they are called perennial rivers. Storing water. We need water for a variety of purposes. It is used for irrigating agricultural land, household needs, industrial activities, and for generating electricity. The electricity produced using the power of falling water is called hydroelectricity. Since we do not get rain throughout the year, we need to store water in dams, reservoirs, tanks, and canals. Dams and reservoirs. Dams are walls built across rivers to block or control the flow of water in rivers. The water gets collected behind the dams, in artificial lakes called reservoirs. It is released when the level of water in the river decreases. Dams are also used for generating electricity. Bhakra Nangal Dam and Hirakud Dam are some example. Tanks. Tanks are large reservoirs of water. They are a common source of irrigation in the Deccan Plateau, where the rocky surface of the land makes it difficult to dig wells. The tanks are filled during the rainy season. Canals. Canals are dug as channels to divert water from rivers to agricultural fields for irrigation purposes. Some of the most important canals of India are Sarhind Canal, Indira Gandhi Canal and Buckingham Canal. Water cycle. The water cycle describes the continuous movement of water on, above and below the surface of the earth. As water moves in the water cycle, it changes forms. From liquid it becomes vapor or gas, and then changes to ice. This process happens all the time. The sun heats up water on land and in rivers, lakes and seas and turns it into water vapor or gas. The water vapor rises into the air. Water vapor in the air cools down and changes back into tiny drops of liquid water, forming clouds. When the clouds get heavy and packed with water droplets, the water falls back to the earth in the form of rain or snow. This process is known as precipitation. When the rain water again gets collected in rivers, lakes and seas, the water bodies fill up again and in the hot sun, they start to evaporate. The whole process starts all over again. It is called the water cycle. Evaporation. Water exists in earth in three different forms: solid, for example snow, ice and glacier; liquid, for example rain, and gas, for example steam, water vapor and clouds. Water changes to water vapor on heating. This is called evaporation. This happens due to the heat of the sun. Some common examples of evaporation are puddles of water that appear after the rain dries up and disappears after the sun comes out again. Sweat from our body that dries due to evaporation. Wet clothes that dry when hung in the open. Condensation. On cooling, water vapor changes back to drops of water. This is called condensation. Some common examples of condensation are: when water boils in a kettle, steam comes out of its nozzle. This steam can be seen as water droplets. When a plate is placed in front of the nozzle, dew forms on leaves and exposed surfaces in winters. Drops of water collect inside the lid of a tiffin box which has hot stuff. When we open our mouth on a chilly winter morning, we can see water vapor coming out of our mouth. Water pollution. We cannot live without water. Farmers need water to grow crops. Animals, birds and plants need water too. However, most of the water in rivers, lakes and tanks is polluted because of our activities. What causes water pollution? Sewage water from cities and towns flows directly into rivers, making the water unfit for use. People bathe and wash clothes and cattle in rivers and ponds. In doing so, they pollute the water. Wastewater from factories also flows into river water and pollutes it. Sometimes ships spill harmful waste or oil into seas and oceans, causing pollution. Harmful effects of water pollution. Polluted water causes diseases such as cholera, jaundice and typhoid. Water is home to many animals and plants. Dirty water kills those plants and animals. Potable water. Water fit for drinking purpose is called potable water. Water is made potable by boiling and adopting different methods of filtration. Every city has a water purification plant. Water from different water bodies like rivers is brought here for filtration. After it is filtered, certain chemicals are added to make the water pure. This way, water becomes free of both dust and germs. This purified water is then supplied to houses. We get this water in our taps. However, as pipes may sometimes corrode or have leaks in them, it is always better to filter the water that comes in our taps before drinking it. Making water safe for drinking. There are various methods by which we can make tap water safe for drinking. They are: boiling. Boiling is the best method to kill germs present in water. Boil water for 10 to 15 minutes, cool it, and then store it for use. Using filters. Water filters that have a ceramic, porcelain, candle in it or electric filters are used to remove impurities. RO, reverse osmosis. is the modern technology of water filtration. Adding chemicals. Adding iodine or chlorine to water can also make it safe for drinking. The proportion of water and the chemicals should be correct. Some other sources of potable water are water conservation. Careful use of water is called water conservation. Water is precious and every drop must be saved. With the growing population, the demand for water is increasing and water sources are being used up at an alarming rate. That is why it is very important for us to conserve water. Some of the easiest ways of conserving water at home are closing the tap while brushing our teeth, repairing leaking taps and pipes, using a bucket and mug to take a bath instead of shower, watering plants before sunrise and after sunset to prevent water from evaporating fast. Use a fixed quantity of water to wash clothes, not allow water to flow unnecessarily. Use water in a bucket to wash your vehicles at home. Water is a valuable resource. It must be used wisely and judiciously so that we are not deprived of it. Word bank. Seeps, flow slowly and in small quantities through something or into something. Glacier, a large mass of ice, formed by snow on mountains, that moves very slowly down a valley. Perennial, continuing for a very long time. Corrode, to destroy something slowly, especially by chemical action. In a nutshell, all living things need water to live and grow. 3/4 of the Earth's surface is covered with water. Rain is the main source of water on Earth. Rainwater seeps inside the ground and collects over the solid bedrock as underground water. Rainwater runs off the ground as surface water. All rivers and lakes meet the oceans and seas, which are large and salty water bodies. Tube wells, hand pumps and wells bring out underground water. Evaporation is a process in which water changes into water vapor due to heat. Condensation is a process in which water vapor changes into water due to cooling. The change of water to water vapor and back to water in nature is called water cycle. Water is precious and should be used wisely.